Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan. I lost my hearing.
This is good. Wow. Make you go deaf?
It's funny the second
time. We started it. We got about 5 minutes in, and we noticed we weren't recording. Real smart, isn't it, on my front? So we've already heard Declan whistle once. Well, this week we're doing Kill Bill Volume 1. We're continuing with our Quentin Tarantino filmography, and we'll kind of be jumping backwards and forwards between this and whatever other movie that is coming out that is new and recent. So, jumping in, a bit of a spoiler alert. We do spoil the film. Go out, watch the movie, come back and listen to us break it down for you. A little bit of film info first, as I read the block paragraph that I read before again. The film is written for screen and directed by Quentin Tarantino, with writing and character creation credit to Uma Thurman, noted as Q&U. Its cinematographer was Robert Richardson, a cinematographer who would go on to shoot the rest of Quentin Tarantino's filmography as so far. This is not including Death Proof. He's a master, this guy.
Well, Death Proof still looked good.
Yes, yeah, still actually wasn't bad. Yeah, did look very Grindhouse. Hence Grindhouse. He is also known for working with Martin Scorsese on several films, including The Aviator, Shutter Island, Casino, and just to name a few. Other credits include Platoon, Wall Street, JFK, A Few Good Men, Natural Born Killers. I mean, the list just goes on. By the chosen soundtrack and lifting samples by Tarantino, the original score for the film is, no joke, created by RZA, one of the Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
The film was edited by Sally Menke, who would work with Tarantino on every one of his films till Inglourious Bastards. Unfortunately, Sally Menke passed away not long after Inglourious Bastards, being her second and last film to edit. Her final film was Peacock. So that should clear up our film info. Declan, again, would you tell us your thoughts on Kill Bill? I guess it's going to be more concise now.
Yeah,
at least.
I can't help but make it more concise.
You're gonna know what you want to say.
Yeah,
So
no,
makes
like
sense.
as I said, as stated before in my first draft, definite step up from Jackie Brown. It's 2 slams on Jackie Brown.
Slam it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Like this one and Reservoir Dogs are probably the 2 best best watching experiences so far. But I know that like we already disagreed on this or whatever, but I did find certain sections drag just a little bit. But
Yeah.
all the fight sections were really cool and everything, and there's a lot to like from this movie, basically. And I'm being very nitpicky.
Yeah.
We have to be.
Yes,
That's the point.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything that Declan said. And just to add on top, I'm just going to give another +1 for the cinematography. And this is Tarantino playing in his sandbox, and I like it. He's having fun. Looks like the crew's having fun.
Look how fast you're going through it.
Hey, I'm punching through this.
Maybe we should do initial thoughts this quickly all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, it is.
Just
Pretty
get
quick.
straight into the thick of it.
Yeah.
I guess you're probably right.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like the editing and everything's just it's really good. Really good movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this film as well. It's probably my favorite Tarantino film.
This is your number 1 on your list that we did at the start,
it is number 1 on my list. Yeah, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
And that's only because it's the first of the 2. It's just like, I feel like these movies are almost like a package deal, obviously.
Yeah.
So when I watch them, I feel like I'm watching one movie.
Yeah.
You can literally, I would be happy to have an edit from him that is just Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And then just have it run. Yeah. Because I know it leaves with cliffhangers and things like that, but nonetheless, this film is just, it's fun. It's deep and dense while being
creative.
Yeah, colorful and playful as well. I mean, I can't ask for anything else. The action's awesome. The music is like fucking weird as shit, and I love it.
Man, how good's the anime?
The anime, like that's
so good.
which is another thing I'll go into.
That might be
later.
the best section.
Yeah. I'll go into later, but yeah, there's things like that, and just it's super creative. It jumps everywhere, and I can't be happier with this movie. This is to me the quintessential Tarantino.
Also,
To me.
also has the closest foot shot of all of the movies.
It's the longest one, I can tell you that.
How's the toe?
Fucking grot. Anyway, let's jump into the full blown review, the main thoughts of our review, and run down the film a little bit to get it going. I got a lot of things to talk about, but I'm just going to jump through each of them, like here and there.
Dude, we need some popcorn and pretzels here.
No, on a podcast,
this
it
movie.
sound
ASMR.
all over the. You're like, what?
There's ASMR like people eating spring
I
rolls.
know what it is. I know what it is.
Declan's just like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's dipping it.
Oh yeah.
Did you double dip the chip?
Oh, double dip everything.
Oh my god. Ew. The opening it up with I don't think he's done it yet. Well, he'll continue to do it with a lot of other films later. But our feature presentation, the really cool. And I just wanted to say this movie's opening is maybe up there in the top 20 best openings
Yeah,
ever.
it's pretty good, man.
Walking in, she's on the ground.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Heaps stylized that.
Yeah. He's telling the whole, Bill's talking and giving his whole speech, and he gets that, Bill, it's your baby. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
fucking ripper. And kudos to, what's his name in it? David Carradine.
Yeah, man.
He's hands and a voice, and I feel like he's the most dangerous man on planet Earth.
Yeah. Surely they film these back to back, though, right?
They would have had to.
Yeah.
It definitely. This is if they were doing the first one and then they were like, we don't know if we're going to do another one, it would have been weird. He even because we get the whole Michael Madsen scene at the end.
Yeah. Which is in the second movie.
Yeah. I was thinking, bang, bang, he shot me down. I was wondering if that's where maybe the conception of this story came. He was listening to that song at some point in time. It came on the radio or something like
maybe,
that.
yeah.
I think Uma Thurman was the one that came up with the origin story.
Is it? So
Yeah.
she's the one that really was the one that
I believe so.
inception of it.
Yeah.
Huh.
She
know
was
that.
because her on Pulp Fiction, her and Tarantino were talking about their love of kung fu movies, and she came up with the idea for The Bride.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would be cool because I think that I don't know, she just fit. It's such a perfect character for her. I can see her having come up with it herself. I think it's super smart having the whole death list, the numbering, having the names, the side names and things like that. Copperhead, Mountain Snake, California Mountain Snake. What was the other ones? Hers is Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Do you know what I also liked? Because I think they started with the first one crossed off, and they started the second one. So you have you thinking, what happened to the number one?
Yeah,
and then it goes back
to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I know it seems like I'm just going, oh, well, I like the idea of a numbering system. But the human brain would be like, there's
something wrong.
there's something right.
We're
Yeah, but
missing
also
something,
the thought of one, a name, two, a name. Your idea goes, I'm ready to see what happens to Bill, to Bud next. I'm ready to see what happens. You now, and not only that, it makes you remember them.
Yeah.
You just feel like because it's listed, you're now going to remember these characters. We know that the opening fight scene is fucking mint. You don't get a knife fight in battle like that and then not say and it's super colorful. Did you notice that? It's
colourful.
saturated.
It's blocked so well, man, and it's framed so well. That's the cinematography in that scene alone is just so damn good.
He puts the camera in weird places. He puts it
it's-
underneath, he lets
works.
it fall on top of
It's so good, man.
on top of the camera, and I mean, watching them, they just get super duper fucking sweaty really quickly.
Yeah, it's done
You
really,
would.
really well. That section of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. When they're in front of the window
yeah,
and they're facing each other on either end of the window.
Yeah.
And you got the school bus push up.
yeah.
We'll push in, whatever it is, for roll in. Fuck. I can't even talk properly
Words
today.
are hard, man.
Yeah.
We have our
Anyway,
days.
the kid walks in. It's just a tension build. It's just so damn good.
Yeah. And I noticed they bleep her name. They don't say her name in
Yeah,
this.
but her name is on the plane ticket.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's maybe the only way we get to see it, because even
It's mentioned in
Ishii-
the second movie, though, I believe.
It does, yeah. They say it a lot. Beatrix
Can't
Kiddo.
remember.
Yeah.
But I noticed that even o-ren Ishii at the end blips it. They blip it on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where she sees her and goes, beep. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? It's weird.
It's Tarantino. He can do it.
I know, but it's such a like. Why is that a secret?
Then there's no rule against it. It's just interesting.
I know. I guess it keeps a mystery.
Well, it makes you want to know what the name is.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
It's creating supply and demand for the next movie.
It's true. Well,
He's fucking smart, man.
yeah. Well, that was another thing. By the end of the film, I'm jumping ahead here all the way to the end. Can you I don't know if you guys ever did watch this at the cinemas. Did you watch this at the cinemas? Can you?
No,
yeah?
I didn't. I was too young. I was R18.
I watched
Right.
it with
Yeah, I was too
my mate
young.
Anthony. This is the first Tarantino film I watched.
Right. So,
first
well,
introduction.
I'll ask you then. When you you finished watching this, I don't know if you can even remember it or pull anything from it. When you finished watching this at the cinemas, were you just like, did you have a moment? Like, if I would have watched this at the cinemas, I would have walked out and been like, what? I'm ready to fucking watch the next one right now. Right now.
I see my mate Anthony. He's seen, I think, the first two, and he goes, "Oh, check out this movie. You're gonna love it, right? It's got fighting, it's creative and all that stuff." I was like, "Okay, cool." And what threw me off were the titles, and I could hear him snickering, and I'm thinking, "Okay, so I know this director's more of a, he's just out there,
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that I found jaunting with the whole experience. But yeah, towards the end, I was like, "Fuck, this was a good movie."
Why is he snickering at the titles?
Because it's just it's interesting compared to other movies.
I
we've
do
seen.
that when I watch Tarantino stuff and he does weird shit. I just laugh
You're
because
like-
I'm just like,
It's so weird.
fucking it's just like it is just weird. I laughed when I watched it. I did laugh when I watched it again this time because I'm just like,
Yeah, it's just
I laugh
odd.
because I'm kind of like, I respect the creativity, but at the same time, I'm like, I really don't know if it would have made that much of a difference if you just had gone normal titles.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh that he goes to the effort. Like he just cares that much about that stuff. It's the
Yeah.
same as when he gets like upset that his movies aren't being shown in 70mm and other movies, and it's like he gets like real emotional about it. And I'm like, I respect how much you care, and like you care more than anyone else. So that's lovely and everything, but. He holds on. He's holding on to like traditions like so much.
Yeah.
When it's like, and he wants to retire from filmmaking because he hates this digital era of filmmaking, and it's like, dude, like movies are still good. It's like they don't need to be shot on film anymore. They just don't. You'd be really holding on to it like religious codes almost. You know what I mean? Like, and
It's like a manifesto.
if that's who he is and that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But like, it's kind of like just a shame that he's going to jump out because of that.
Yeah.
You know.
And the other thing that annoys me too, the film is so beautifully shot, and he's got just shit ass titles. That's what annoys me.
You don't like the titles?
The font is just terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
It's because he's trying to do the whole like
it's old
he's trying
school.
like it's a 70s kung fu film. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. That's the reasoning
But
behind
even
it.
in the old black and whites, they used to use nice. I think it's serif fonts. It's just really nice.
Yeah, but he's literally
It's like
He gets these
all
made, man.
all his movies from here on out, like the movies are obviously like better made than they were back then, but he's trying to go for that feel that he had when he was a kid. And he's going to the cinema, and it was like, the 3 feature presentation where you got like 2 40-minute Tarzan movies and then a Wild West movie or a samurai movie after it. Like that's he's trying to recreate that experience.
Yeah.
It's
for
always
everyone.
well, you see it. He even does it through chaptering.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
you can see that each chapter is almost its own it is its own story. You don't even have to watch anything else and be like, I'm intrigued with that. The Hattori Hanzo scene later, she goes to Okinawa. That, if you watch that just as a segment in of itself, and you don't know who Bill is, you don't know anything, you'd be like, that was really interesting. It'd be an awesome short film. Like, just that alone.
Well, that's what it feels like to me. It's just a series of shorts.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's broken it up into chapters, that's just how it works.
But it's super cohesive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
like
true,
by
yeah.
the end of it, you're like, you follow everywhere she's going. You understand what the story is.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but just Uma Thurman in this gives it her all.
She does.
Like
She's such a talent. What's she doing now?
She got fucked over when she played Poison Ivy in Batman, man. I reckon that
Yeah.
derailed her career. Even though this movie was after that, like obviously, like Tarantino, I think that derailed her.
Yeah.
And also, she had problems with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, she did
And
as
she
well.
had problems with Tarantino. That's going to be my deep dive on the volume 2
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he said that was
In this movie? No, next movie.
next movie.
right. Okay. I'll save it for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where... We'll go into it, but that
Yeah.
is definitely where Tarantino seems to cross lines
Yes.
big time.
Yeah.
And that's where...
Not sexually, I'll add.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not sexual assault or anything like that. Yeah.
I heard bits and pieces of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a question about this movie as well, which I was finding interesting watching it. And this isn't me saying that I feel this way about it, but I just think of like the world and audiences in general now. If this movie comes out today,
Right.
no, does it get heavily criticised for a lack of story and character development? Because there's not that much there when you actually break it down. Like, there's not a lot going on.
It's such
It's
a
pretty
comic
like
book
baseline, and I enjoy. I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with it because I think that we're too over the top
That's
with
what
how
I
much we
think.
care about this sort of stuff now.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it comes out today, if it's not as well received.
I'll put this out there. If this was made by a Joe Bloggs as his first movie, is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
No,
Would it
no,
be
I'm saying if
accepted?
Tarantino brings it out today,
Right. After his
Just
back
now.
catalogue.
just now,
If
just
it
say,
came out now.
just imagine it comes out.
This is the 9th Tarantino film instead of...
Yeah. I'm thinking along
What
the
a way to end
lines.
the career, though, 9 and 10 with this.
Yeah.
Just think,
But I'm just thinking if because we know how he is, I think it'll just be accepted.
Yeah,
It's
I wonder because it's very like it's. I'm not. I
know what you're
like
saying,
it, but it's you barely know anything about anyone
Yeah.
except for O-ren Ishii. She gets the biggest backstory.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff for her.
Yeah.
well, I guess I think, I honestly, my biggest problem these days is people either convolute things with movies, and I find the best films are the ones that are the simplest.
Yeah.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree with you. I think there's too many
Yeah.
people that are like bitter towards the film industry because they didn't make it or something like that, and they're like hate. They just want to find things to hate on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
that's what
that's why I'm
critics
just wondering.
Yeah.
No, like critics, you meant to criticize and everything. We
Yeah.
do it too, but like,
Constructive.
yeah,
Well, as well
like
as
this movie. Like you're right, this movie is generally fun.
critics are commonly, and I'll say this, critics are commonly the biggest fans of all of them.
Yeah,
And that's why they're so critical.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you see something that one of the director that you look up to has done, be it good or bad, you can say it, but you'll always
Yeah.
continue to watch it.
Yeah.
You always continue to move forward with it.
Oh, I'm already a
Yeah.
bit feeling Tarantino fatigue, but
Yeah.
100% when his next movie comes out, I'll be there first day at the cinema to go and watch it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm intrigued to
Yeah.
see what he does.
Yeah. See, if you give me Tarantino and Nolan, I'd rather watch Tarantino.
I'll go and see
That's-
both of them
yeah.
opening day.
I'll see both, but
For
I'd
me, they're
rather-
both all-time greats. I'm in
You
this
got
new phase of my
masters.
life where I'm just like, if they're a master of something,
Yeah.
I'm just going to appreciate it because I've spent too much of my 20s
Oh, yeah. Watching it, yeah.
getting emotionally annoyed at certain things. Like,
Yeah.
think of like tennis, right? Like, I'm a big Andy Murray fan. I've always not liked Djokovic.
That's close.
But like Djokovic is an amazing tennis player. I've spent all this time not liking him, and I haven't really appreciated his years where he's been dominated. Do you know what I mean? But like, I should have just been like, well, actually, he's amazing.
That'd be
Like,
great. Yeah.
I don't like him as I question his personal stuff, but some of his opinions and things like that are pretty
yeah.
warped.
That's like, it's fine.
Separate, no matter what, separate art from artist in
Yeah.
my front.
Yeah.
But,
I'm just saying, like, when it comes
Unless
to
it's something real bad.
when we did that Nolan run, I was getting bored of the movies.
What Nolan run did we do?
Well,
I
we did the
Batmans,
Batmans.
yeah, and I was just like, come on.
I think that was
got
more.
the
I
last
think
one.
that's
the
more.
last one was your most highly rated.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're
But I
still
think
great
that's-
movies.
But I think that's more that those Batman movies are on a sliding scale too, though. Like, they get weaker as it. Like, The Dark Knight's amazing, and then after that's like a massive drop.
I liked the last one better, but I think it was like 0.5 because I
Yeah.
liked just the hero ending and stuff.
You like the look of it. The look of the film, you're like, this one looks the best.
But saying that though, Daniel, when we did the Tenet podcast, we were all generally there was a high energy on that
this-
podcast.
yeah, don't get me
Even
wrong.
though there was
Yeah.
criticisms for it, it was like we'd never seen anything like
it was
that
amazing.
before.
Yeah,
Well,
like
this is
they're
what
all they're all good. They're all good movies. But I'm saying is, I just like Tarantino style just that little bit.
Yeah,
better 'cause he's different.
fair enough. Yeah.
he's like freakishly different. If that makes sense. Yeah.
And this is where the whole like what I just said comes into play. We might criticize it,
Yeah.
but we fucking love all of them.
still love it. Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
I'll still give it good scores. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's-
these guys are like
Yeah,
they're on the Mount Rushmore of directors,
Yeah.
modern
Yeah.
directors, right?
Yeah.
It's like it'd be like Nolan, Tarantino.
Scorsese.
These guys could make 3 bad
Spielberg.
movies in a row, and still I'd be like, yeah, but they had like 3 good ones
Yeah.
before it.
Well, look at Spielberg's career. He's had some
Jumps
stinkers.
up and down.
But
I
then
didn't
he
really
comes-
like BFG.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
I didn't like it.
Average.
Pretty boring.
Yeah.
But he's one of the greatest, maybe the greatest ever. You know,
Yeah.
if you were to put it down into a.
I think Spielberg's had his time, eh?
I think he's still
Ready
got.
Player
I think
One
he's
was
still got
pretty
room
good.
to make something else.
Ready Player One. I liked it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking he's had his time, and then
Not
he will come
memorable.
out with like Bridge of Spies or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
You know,
good.
like he's
That's
still
true.
got it.
Yeah.
He's just like
Sleepers.
It's just a memorable, yeah.
he's just in that period now where it's like let's be honest. Like being a director is not really that taxing. I'm sure it's emotionally taxing and everything, but physically. He's still able to do it. Scorsese's still doing it at his age. Just
Look at
like,
Clint Eastwood.
yeah, exactly.
It's like
So
nearly 100.
his kids are all older, so he's got all this time on his hands. That's why he's been spewing out a lot more movies. He's taken a break recently. I think he's in a producer
Producer's
role
role,
for
yeah.
a few things
He's
now.
producing heaps of things.
Man, Spielberg's executive producer role, he just throws money at something and goes, fucking make it.
But I wouldn't,
He's like-
yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Spielberg come back and
I hope so.
chuck something big at us. In
Yeah.
the next,
yeah.
like,
I want to
sure.
see like another.
Well, the Indiana Jones is coming out. The
Yeah.
next one.
is he doing that though?
I think
Mangold.
he is.
Mangold's doing it.
Is it?
I think he is. James Mangold.
I thought I heard Spielberg was doing it.
He stepped down. I think.
don't know if
I'm sure it's Mangold.
Spielberg not touching an Indiana Jones is
think-
weird.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Reese's
James Mangold.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That is weird.
He'll be good though.
I trust him. Yeah.
He'd be good.
Mads
Yeah.
Mikkelsen.
Yeah, do you know why they've got him?
Yeah.
Do you know why they've got him? Because there's an old Indiana Jones and he did Logan.
Yeah.
100%
That's
that's
what
why
I was
they got
thinking.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice. Yeah.
Logan
was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm happy. James Mangold's.
Man, just to see another Indiana,
Done
as
well,
long as it's not
so.
the one that we don't talk of, that's fine.
What? Which one?
Yeah, that's right.
No,
I don't know
we'll
what
be
that one
watching Indiana Jones 4.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. Good lord. Fucking swing from the trees. What?
Okay. All right. Well, let's
Back
move
to
on.
Pulp Fiction.
Move on a little
Not
bit.
Pulp Fiction. Kill Bill.
Don't go back to Pulp Fiction.
Wow.
Don't go back to Pulp Fiction. Oh no. Michael Parks in this film, super underrated, I think, because we don't get to see enough of him. We never get to see enough Michael Parks, I think. In
Which one's
films.
Michael Parks?
Michael Parks is the sheriff that comes in
Oh,
later
yeah,
on.
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Let's go,
With his crooked
bang."
glasses.
Yeah, he's got so many glasses on the dashboard.
And it's like that. It's like, fucking fix your glasses up.
This goddamn woman still alive.
Is
How
he,
he says it.
I've seen him before, like heaps of movies. Are they from horror movies or?
He's kind of plays that role nearly all the time. I know that
got
Kevin
that weathered
Smith
face.
had a big thing for him for a while. He was in Red State with him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's when he made his... Was he in Tusk?
He was in Tusk, yeah.
He was the
he's
old guy.
in
Yeah.
Tusk. Yeah.
But he
That's
passed away
interesting,
about
maybe.
2 years ago now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Far out.
R.I.P.
But he was fantastic.
Yeah,
Like,
he
just
has-
one of those character actors.
Yeah, he's got screen presence.
Yeah. He reminds me of, like, I know there's a weird thing to say, but, like, Bill Paxton in the sense of the same realm. Like,
Yeah.
he's, you know...
I see. So I think of Bill Paxton. I think of him in that, Total Recall, when he's just going, ha 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 ha, and Arnie just goes, bang.
I think of, like, Hicks. Straight up think of Hicks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like, we're gonna die, man.
Yeah, he's always playing like a
aliens.
pussy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's like a whining bitch.
first guy to get smacked by a Terminator, if I remember correctly. So jumping a little further along, we then have her comatose. Mm-hmm. We get the Buck, who likes to fuck.
Yeah.
the head. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about the fact that whenever they jump back to like a foreshadowing, like a memory that she has, you get that moment that
Yeah.
it's
But-
Yeah.
That's from the classic movies.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I like
They do a bit of that in, I think is it Way of the Dragon? Way of the Dragon, I think it is. Where he fights Chuck
Enter the
Norris.
Dragon.
Maybe Enter the Dragon in the Colosseum.
Ah, yeah.
And it goes,
And he-
we'll go
Yeah,
to that,
it goes back and
Yeah.
like overlays in front of her face and stuff in this one. Yeah, I will say I kind of miss the idea of that type of creativity because a lot of the time now flashbacks are just
Boom.
flashbacks, just go boom straight back.
So they
into
trust... Sort of more trust that audiences can figure out it's a flashback now, right?
It's true. It just feels though more playful.
Yeah.
In this way.
Also, I think, sorry to go off on another tangent, but I think part of the epidemic for that is that especially when someone who went to film school, and you probably would have had it too, Reece, is that you get it drummed into you there. I think a lot of creativity gets flushed out there because they drum it into you that flashbacks are bad.
They do.
Oh, really?
Straight away.
They're like, no, you shouldn't do flashbacks. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And they give you all these rules for what you should and shouldn't do.
Why? What's the reason?
They just say it's lazy storytelling. But really, I just don't think there should be any rules. You should just be able to do whatever the fuck you want to write.
Yeah,
and then
that's pretty much
if
it.
the product's good or it's bad, they can tell you at the end. But when you get, I think
There's
strangling creativity out of kids, man.
There's only one thing that can destroy that, and that's, I do believe in the show don't tell aspect. With film, exposition can be good at times, but that's
the one rule that is good that you learn is that show don't tell is obvious. That's king in cinema.
Yeah. And it's just like there are times where it's important. You do need it, but most of the time, I'd rather see an overlaid shot of what happened with Buck than just hear her, hear it in her head or something.
Yeah.
Or Buck say it to her. So that's definitely something. I just, obviously this is the Tarantino quirks that it's not even Tarantino's quirks. It's just shit he's stolen from everywhere else.
It's also like,
trying to bring it back.
I don't want to harp on stuff like this, but it is like another Tarantino film that has like uber violence against a woman. It's just like a recurring thing in a lot of his work.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
call me out if I'm wrong, but is he the only mainstream director that does this?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bit of a Hollywood epidemic.
Look at Joss Whedon.
Oh,
always.
But
he was always highly touted as a feminist.
Yeah,
I know.
And he was like this guy that wrote amazing female. But now, like, retroactively looking at the work, you're like, he wasn't at all.
Yeah, he just enjoyed watching bad things happen to women.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
So on screen, it's Tarantino is a bit more aggressive.
Oh yeah, he likes shock.
Yeah,
because he likes eliciting emotion. And that means that it's in any way that he can get it.
But then again, if you look at story-wise, you need some sort of shock to get retribution.
It does. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense within the story. I'm saying a lot of his stories are predicated on women getting hurt and then people taking vengeance upon that hurt, which is like
Django.
Yeah. So it's just a thing that he always does. And I just know there's a movement out there trying to fight against this and people to come up with better ways to tell stories. Nolan does it too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's only Tarantino
thing. It's always been rescue the damsel in distress.
Thankfully, though, this does do. It does and doesn't. It does flip it on its head in a way where it allows the revenge aspect to play through.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Which doesn't. It's not.
I mean, it's the whole point of the story. I'm not trying to say it's right.
Yeah. Well, some of my favorite, maybe my favorite types of films are revenge films.
Yeah.
I hate watching the first hour of I Spit on Your Grave, but fuck me, do I love watching the next hour.
I've got to watch that because she smashes him.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Like that?
Nah, who's in that?
It's very like.
Actually, I don't know who's in that.
I don't know.
Who made it?
It was the remake of it.
Oh man,
I didn't like the original very much. So Sarah Butler plays.
She gets raped and then she comes back and just punishes man.
Yeah, right.
A writer in Camel's brutalized during her cabin retreat, seeks revenge on her attackers.
Yeah, they rape her and leave her for dead, basically.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's very, very.
Yeah.
What is it called when you just see a lot?
Yeah.
And that's just
confronting.
Very confronting, and I don't like that. Like this, it could have been cut half of it, and it would have been still feel like you're watching the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like revenge films too. So,
well, it's a classic thing, the revenge film.
Yeah, watching someone come back and just nail someone else that's done bad things is just fun. Maybe that says something about me. That's a bit sick.
Just like Captain America.
What? Oh my God! We'll get into that. You guys have probably already heard it if that's the case. It comes out before this.
I haven't said anything.
He's so
Dude, look at the fucking eyes going darting backwards and forwards. Yeah, she slices his Achilles. Never like watching that in movies.
So good.
And obviously we get our creepy feet shot. But I do like the idea of
in the pussy
will.
wagon.
The pussy, yeah.
So random and colourful. I love it.
He still owns it, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I love the big key ring too. It's like, just so you don't know what the car's like, you just put your keys on tape. Oh, yeah, that's my
The
car.
fact that she even had to check the keyring again,
Yeah.
like I would have been like, that's the fucking car. Like straight off the bat, I wouldn't
think
have
she
even
looked
checked
at it
it.
going, this is
Yeah,
fucking stupid.
that did make me laugh too because I was like, why is she checking?
Checking the keyring for the second time.
Yeah, I think that was more of what a creepy character that other dude was.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, why
Yeah.
have that twice?
Twice,
That's
yeah.
how I read it. Yeah.
Fair enough, yeah. The background. Now I'm just going to jump into the background story of o-ren Ishii because you're right. I think this is the best part of the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
it is
The anime aspect of it, and like
I'd watch a side movie of o-ren Ishii.
Man, I said
The whole thing.
That's when I first watched that. I went, "What is this style?" Because I've never seen it before. I was young, man.
the way that like
I didn't have many nerd friends.
Crazy,
So I was just like, "What is anime?" It's like, holy
the
shit,
music
that's
is
awesome.
perfect as well, like Western sounding
Yeah.
music on it.
And the gore. It's like, oh, this is so good. Just
When-
blood-
Yeah, when I noticed when they like put a sword in, when it pulls out, like
Yeah.
it's pulling like the skin with it forward.
yeah,
And
it's
then
so
bang,
stylized.
it's like almost like a pump just goes off.
Yeah, and just the vibe, like when their eyes is like,
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see. That I would like to see a live action version of her taking revenge against the 3 dudes that were in that room that killed her parents. So I reckon I would totally watch that.
that'd be
Oh
sick.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'd like Lucy Liu's pretty. I've heard that she's like a problem on set and stuff like that, but she's got a presence.
Yeah, she's done
Sure.
it.
Sure.
Her sword is sick too. Just
Oh,
like how it's
yeah.
just like straight. Like,
Yeah.
It's got no,
yeah, it's
no
awesome.
hilt.
and the flowers on the hill. It's sick.
I'm surprised you haven't got a replica here, Reece.
No, I've got the Beatrix Kiddo sword in there,
Yeah.
but
There's one at a shop in
probably should have put it
Barrel.
on here.
There's a collector shop in Barrel that has the Kill Bill sword in there.
Yeah,
So,
my
yeah.
one's like a cheap one,
Yeah.
but it's like $100 or something. But
Is it blunt?
that one's pretty blunt. Yeah. I got a Highlander sword, man. It's razor sharp, and it's awesome.
Really?
Like it's beautiful.
Hectic.
Yeah. Anyway,
Really?
Because I was wondering, like, does it have to go past a certain customs thing? When
no, you can buy swords in Australia. Yeah, you just can't buy double-edged daggers, push daggers, things like that. So you can't buy anything that
that can be concealed easily.
concealed, as well as for some reason New South Wales doesn't allow a dagger, so double-edged blade.
Right.
I don't know why, and obviously no knuckle busters, nothing like that,
Yeah.
because that's just like
Yeah.
it's the reason that's made is to hurt people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not a display piece. Yeah, well, jumping back to that cartoon aspect, is it just me, or do I think that more things should integrate things like this? Be more creative in this type of way. I was thinking of Hellboy 2,
Yeah.
and when they were telling the fabled story at the
Yeah.
start.
Deathly Hallows, does
Deathly
it?
Hallows.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Space Jam? No.
Wait, hold on.
Wow.
Everybody seen the trailer to the new one?
You're going to watch you want it?
Fucking oath, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Flick next that.
We'll do a review on it, man.
As soon as I saw all the villains in it are all other famous NBA players, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
It's going to be so bad.
Come on. We've got to do it.
Dame time.
Yeah.
Dame
That'll be
time's
fun.
in there, man. Dame time.
Oh, hell
What we'll do a double. We'll go watch Space Jam 1 and we'll Space Jam 2.
yeah. Oh, my God.
Not gonna lie, after the trailer came out, I watched
fly.
the first Space Jam after I watched the trailer.
First Space Jam rips, man. It's bad, but it's good.
It's all right.
Oh, when
It's not
yeah, when
like
you're a
woeful.
kid, it's good, yeah.
It's not like a woeful film though. Like it's
No.
not.
The only part that
That's how I
sucks
got
is,
it to Brian McKnight.
the only part that
back
sucks
in the
is when
day.
he's like chilling out in the putting field later on. He's like, the whole like sad scene in it with the I Believe I Can Fly. I don't like that scene.
Yeah.
I just want it to keep pace.
Yeah, yeah.
Just keep going fast.
The weirdest part is that the idea that Michael Jordan lives in suburbia.
Yeah, it's like a normal house. Fucking mansion he has is ridiculous.
His kids have to catch a school bus.
yeah.
Like,
What the hell? Yeah, perfect. Like it's got what it's called Escalades drive their kids around, bulletproof.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. So we're pretty much now straight into the Hattori Hanzo stuff. Fantastic with the whole, even the back and forth with the kitchen hand at the start. I guess maybe this is where I could see you guys being like, I want it to speed up.
I don't.
Nah.
Is that where it was?
It was... it was a little bit slow.
I
but
think for me it's just because I've seen it so many times. I think it was
Yeah.
getting through the whole hospital section for me.
that was the
dragged.
slowest
Right.
bit.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that
That makes sense.
Yeah,
The wiggle your big toe.
I don't mind the Hattori Hanzo part because I kind of like I like sequence. I like the idea of an old master, like a dude who's so good at something but he's humble about it. That is very appealing to me. That's exactly what he is in this sequence. That's a cool sequence.
Yeah, I love the idea of her going to him and going, you know, what do you need this for? And he goes, it's one of your students. He writes it on the
how good's that window
the most
scene?
Perfect handwriting I've ever seen with a finger in my life.
Yeah,
That's like,
he does that little,
and then little little flick.
He can't even say his name out loud.
Yeah. And then straight away goes, it'll take me a month. Like, you know, and you're like,
he won't give her one of the other swords. He's has to make a new one specially built for this. And weirdly, spoiling the future movie, she doesn't even use it on him.
yeah.
I can't remember. Doesn't she do that?
Ping May? What's his name?
Pai Mei.
Pai Mei. He uses Pai Mei's thing.
Yeah.
Which he's like just like a kind of a weird type of, not a rip-off, you know, yet again, homage of like, what's it called? Like monkey story?
Yeah.
Anyway. But I will say, like, at this point in time, some of the most interesting dialogue and the most enjoyable dialogue, like, if on your journey you encounter God will be cut.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
that was sick,
Imagine writing that. Like, it's so cool. It's painful.
And the guy, his kitchen hand getting emotional while it's happening.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, I can't believe it. He's broken this rule.
yeah.
Even he's seeing the gravity of the situation. Oh, so good. I want a movie. That would be a movie I'd watch. I'd just watch, like,
Those
I
two.
guess we get it. We get it. It's called The Last Samurai. Like, we get, like, a Westerner jump into, like, a Japanese culture. And then, it's really cool. We get the jumping further forward. We get the slow-mo walk with, what's it called? O-ren and the gang. The one take.
Oh, yep.
Which I didn't notice until it got to the bride, and I was like, "This is all one shot. What the fuck?"
Is that when they're in the restaurant?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's cool, that one take.
yeah. It goes all the way up the stairs, and they're watching them go like, come forward."
But there's never nothing happening like this. It's following people. And
Yeah.
Do you know what's right? I forgot the whole Charlie Brown thing, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, God, that guy's outfit looks like Charlie Brown's.
That's the first thing you were thinking.
And then I remembered, I was like, oh, that's right, they do call him Charlie Brown.
And then we get our big fight.
Yeah.
And the choices made here are just haywire. It's
Yeah.
like he's got 50 things that he wants to do. He's just going, fuck it, let's put it all in.
I'm trying to think though, is she goes upstairs, this is maybe after the fight, and she hides in that section, and then in the shot they make the wall see-through.
Mm-hmm.
Is it after this part? I can't remember.
When
They
she
make the
throws
wall
the
see-
when
when she-
O-ren
yeah,
throws the
throws
dagger
the-
through.
She's up on the roof,
Yeah.
and that chick comes out, doesn't
Go,
see her,
go.
she goes
Yeah.
back,
Go.
and then I think she just ducks down and then goes behind like a wall, and there's just a wide shot, and you can't see it there, and then they just somehow make the wall disappear. Did you notice that?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, they just made it see through, and then it goes back, and then
Oh, yeah. So
Oh,
she's
yeah.
in the stall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Bathroom
she
stall.
goes to the
'Cause
bathroom.
She
Goes downstairs.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool how you just see the
Yeah.
wall and then it just disappears.
What a
No,
simple
yeah, that's
trick
when
too.
that's when the assistant comes into the bathroom.
Okay, yeah.
Super simple trick. They're just shooting it twice.
Yeah.
And
That's just like,
Yeah.
that's
kind
cool.
of pulling. That's an awesome idea.
This is different, yeah. Sorry, go back to you.
No, I like that. I didn't even pick it. Like, that's a really cool part as well. But we do get some cool things in the fight. It opens. I like it. I noticed those weird things like the camera under the staircase when they're running down the first few guys, and the whole thing's shot under the staircase with that first fight. Gong, 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 gong.
Yeah.
That band's cool too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched this movie with Dad, like when it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
He sat there and watched it with me, and I think it would have been my first Tarantino film, and he was like, we were both like, oh, that band is really cool.
Man.
Because I was starting to get into music then, and they were like, he was in Japan and he heard them playing in a record store. I said, "Who is this band?" to the owner, and he like gave him the record, and he got onto him and got him in the movie.
So fun, yeah.
Crazy.
That's free trivia. That's just my trivia from back in the day.
Free trivia.
Thank you, Declan. So she takes out Go-Go and what is it? Oh my god! Here,
she fights all those guys.
Yeah, she fights all those
blood
guys.
pissing everywhere.
That's a reference to a Japanese film too. The way
Go-Go?
she takes out Go-Go.
Because the what I was gonna say is the way that her blood goes into it, like when she's being choked by Go-Go. This is what I was saying when it comes to Uma Thurman just giving it her all in this film. She's being choked, and you see literally her face up, like neck up, go full red, and her eyes go bloodshot as well.
Yeah,
You're like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's hectic.
Which, well, I'll question some shit with Tarantino on that front as well. But
Yeah.
I like how they use that glass floor as well, like the camera underneath. Thought it cool as well.
and
Even when they get slammed to the ground, even though they might not be on the glass, you can still see an upside down shot.
yeah. Even though later on she does the whole the dance scene almost, where she just does what is it called when you do like a spin on the floor?
Yeah,
And she's fucking taking legs out.
yeah.
Yeah, clear tribute to City of the Living Dead. It's an Italian horror movie.
Yeah, by for what's his name? Starts with F.
Doesn't have it here.
No,
Sorry.
it's a fantastic film.
But yeah, that's the blood through the
cheesy.
eyes. He's even done the blood the same color and everything as
Good
what happens in that movie.
Yeah.
We'll put up a picture here, won't
Yeah.
you, Dan? I won't remember.
Screenshot.
City of the, because I know the director's fantastic. He did a lot of weird Italian horror films. Lucio Fulci. So I got his trilogy upstairs.
Wow.
Fantastic, super weird, and also just some of the shit that he did was just it's so bad. Like it just wasn't like the dubbing was horrible. The kids acting was like terrible as well. And then the whole thing that was enjoyable about it was the fact that it like had this weird, creepy music and
Was it early?
the atmosphere.
Was it like early Peter Jackson stuff, or worse?
Worse.
Wow.
But the thing is, it was worse. And then there were some scenes that were just so much fucking better.
Yeah.
So it was really hit and miss. But it definitely had that air to it, which was the greatest thing about it. So we get our black and white moment because of too much blood.
Yep.
And then I noticed they do a lot of like following the weapons, like the axe moving,
Yeah.
and then the ball. Like
That's an old-fashioned thing too.
the mace thing. We get the blue room fight, the railing fight. Man, there's a lot of fights. a lot of different styles.
Well, he
It
really
goes
throws
for
it the
ages.
wall in this movie because in the next one, there's not a lot of kung fu sequences,
Nah,
even at all. We also get the hint, the eye pulling out. That's the little nod to the next movie as well.
Yeah.
The yanking out of the eye.
Yeah.
That she can do that move.
Right.
Yeah.
Tells you that sort of tells you in this movie that you should already know she becomes one of the best students of Pai Mei, that she can do it.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this movie here, it starts off with the idea in a way of the will to live, the will to what's your drive, and then the second movie just drives that home because the second movie is all about like how much will do you have to continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets punished, huh?
Oh.
Oh.
So the blue room fight, and then she has her little speech at the end, which is fantastic. Leave the limbs you've lost; they're mine now.
Yeah.
Not you, Sophie.
Yeah.
You stay right there.
Also, something that I really love about the Hattori Hanzo scene as well, just jumping back, it's got relevance to this one as well, because she speaks Japanese a lot in these fight sequences, is that how she's playing like the ditzy blonde girl American, and then all of a sudden just starts speaking fluent Japanese to Hattori, and that sort of lets him know, oh shit, she means business, you know, which is like his first dabble into the old jumping in and out of languages, which he does a lot in the next movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like the next.
Following movies,
Yeah.
Mm.
The Hattori Hanzo scene that would be my favorite scene to watch as a short film.
Yeah,
I think
so,
if I was to watch a scene from this film, that I'd be like, get me captivated. For some reason, that's the scene.
Well, that's like, you know, we
Anime for me.
That is what I mean.
It's-
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
just,
like because
you're right.
we've been referencing Dragon Ball Z a lot on this show recently. Sorry, Daniel. But the best moments from Dragon Ball Z aren't when they're actually fighting and having these big fist fights. It's the moments when the dudes find ways to make themselves more powerful, which is what that Hattori Hanzo scene is. Like she's getting the sword. You know, that's one of the coolest moments
level up.
in Avengers Infinity War when Thor gets the new hammer and zooms back down
Yeah.
to Earth. You're like, fuck. Like, it's so sick when someone does a glow up, if you will.
Yeah,
That's a glow up.
the level ups are always some of the most fun.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Every time, as we said, nothing will be better for me than from a Dragon Ball Z scene than watching that first Super Saiyan moment.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
a child,
Yeah.
you're fucking then you're just
You
like,
got to send me links to these things on YouTube.
I don't know if you'll enjoy them.
yeah, it's not
Oh, if they're cool fights, I'll watch them.
It's not. It's. I just. We'll send them, but I feel like it's sort of something that you almost
child thing.
That's why I
and
want them
then
to do a movie so
grew
they
with
can make it relevant to like a bigger audience to now. Like
it would work.
for us, we were
work.
like, what you would have been a bit. I was like
6.
yeah, I was like between 10 and 12, and you're watching these cartoons when you're getting up before school and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like holds that little place in your heart kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was talking about it when they got to school.
Yeah, because the first thing if something like that happened, some days you wouldn't hear about anything, but when something big happened, you're like, did you fucking see that shit in the morning? Like, not like that, but, did you see that in the morning? Yeah.
We missed all that. We didn't have anything
Yeah.
like that. It was just Seinfeld. Seinfeld. Getting to high school, it's like, did you see that? And then that's how I got the cut, right?
Just to say, you probably just got the best of it then, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, true.
It'll Thundercats.
That's the worst of it.
That's pretty cool. And He-Man and
Thundercats.
She-Ra.
Yeah.
He-Man would
They were
be
big
cool.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how when we get the o-ren Ishii fight, she goes, "Where'd you get your weapon?" She says Hattori Hanzo, and she's like, "You lie!" You know, it's almost like a myth, a legend.
Because is her sword Hanzo still?
No,
It's not. Yeah.
and that's why she's kind of has that moment. I
Oh,
think.
she wanted one, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
And
revealed.
she's-
Yeah. He wouldn't make her one.
He
Does
wouldn't
that get
do it.
revealed in the next movie?
I think it does
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah,
only
because I didn't know anything like
Yeah.
that.
there's 2 people that have the sword. It's only Bill and her.
Right.
Bud
And
has
then-
one.
Yeah,
in
but
his
Bud
golf bag.
But doesn't Bud have one that he was given to? Like Bill gave him his, if I remember correctly.
I think
and he
Bill
goes,
gave
"You
him-
hocked the
I think-
Hattori Hanzo sword."
I think Bill gave him one as a gift.
Oh, okay.
But he still has it there. It's in his golf bag in the next movie.
Yeah, because he goes, "I hocked it."
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking kidding? He said over the phone.
He plays himself in real life in that.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, that's what Michael Madsen does.
Yeah. Him and that I used to get him and that other guy from Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks side man, next man. What's his name?
Oh, the guy who plays the bad guy. He plays
In Heat.
Bulma in
Is it Heat?
Heat.
Was he in Heat?
I was thinking
the pudgy
God of
guy.
War, the game God of War. He plays the Boulder. He's in
Tom Hanks is sergeant or the next guy down.
In Same Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Jesus. We're
killed me.
getting it up.
So him and those two just play the same character. That guy.
Oh, Tom Sizemore. He's
that's it.
dead.
Oh, did he die?
Oh no, he's not dead.
No, I was gonna say.
Who was the one that died
because they just went to
Fake news.
Fake news.
don't listen to it.
My bad. Because he had a big heroin problem.
Yeah, but they're all there. Those characters, they go through a real cool patch of movies and they just go off the rails,
Yeah.
which is sad to see. But
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a huge heroin problem for a while.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of what's his name? Jeremy Davies, Corporal Upham. The one who sees that fight in Private Ryan at the end and doesn't do anything.
oh, the typewriter guy.
Yeah, he plays Balder.
Yeah. Oh, does
yeah.
he? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
because like he looks exactly like him when you see him.
Yeah,
like you go,
scrawny.
oh
dude,
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, moving on with it. We finally get our ending with Sophie. She crosses off the list, and we get our big stinger. Does she know her daughter is still alive?
Yeah.
If I would have been in the cinemas at that point in time, man, I would have been like, I'm fucking ready to watch this next movie right now. Like, I need to watch it right now. That was too cool.
What was the gap between the movies? 3 years? Was it 3 years?
I think it was just the next year.
Or a year later.
I think it was just the next year, so 2003, and then this one's 2004.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
1 year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been back to back.
God, it's gone way back. That's a long time ago.
18, nearly 20 years old.
Jesus.
17, 18 years.
When you think about that, eh? Shit.
I was in year 7 when this one came out.
God.
First year of high school.
Yeah, what would I have been? I would have been 7, 8, 9. I would have been 10.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway. Let's get to our next segment, though. I'm going to do Digging Deep with Declan first.
Right on.
Can we dig deep?
Yeah. It's this digging deep bit of a flashback to my previous segment of Deckham. Because I found this the most interesting. I had no knowledge of this before, and stop me if you guys knew this.
Yeah.
But Daryl Hannah, who's barely in this movie, actually she's more in the second
I
one.
just remember it from Wall Street.
Yeah. And Uma Thurman hate each other.
Good. What?
Yeah.
What was that?
They hate each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had to be separated from each other on set on several occasions.
Did they say the reason?
Just didn't like each other. That's what it says. Like, and then
Hate.
like they apparently they had to be like pulled apart and everything. And then at the Cannes Film Festival, they had to be given separate areas at the after party.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Like they couldn't be around each other. And then even doing things like
Why?
Thurman attempted to take Tarantino away from Hannah as the pair posed for pictures. And then, they had separate areas at the after party so they wouldn't clash.
Why?
They had their own tent. And they were like fighting over who would get more photos with Tarantino and stuff like that.
That's so odd.
That's weird.
So
I wonder if...
And hotel stuff, because everyone stays in one hotel when they go to the Cannes Film Festival, because it's like...
They're in separate hotels?
No. So the hotel, basically, like
Yeah.
the main one on the strip, has like a red
connected to
carpet
it.
that runs all the way down.
Yeah.
And there was fully had to be coordinated that they would not run into each other.
Wow. See, I wonder then, because Tarantino
weird.
was with Thurman for a while.
Yeah.
Like, they were partners for a while. I wonder if something happened with him and Hannah.
Don't know.
Something freaky got happened.
Maybe.
You know?
But
That's a weird mix, man.
Yeah.
He's punching hard.
I mean, he got Uma Thurman. Even for him, Uma Thurman's...
Nah,
Good looking for
that's what I'm
him.
saying.
That's
He's
what Daniel's
punching.
saying.
Yeah.
He's
Super
punching.
punching.
He's a weird looking dude.
Yeah,
man.
he's a weird dude just generally.
Yeah.
Like, just how he talks and
Yeah.
shit. Imagine hearing him, he's good, all day, like, that's what it sounds like. He sounds like he's talking like this.
There's a good SNL skit where a bunch like
That'd be so good to watch.
there's a bunch of actors and actresses versus directors on Family Feud, and the guy like the playing the directors are just so spot on. One of them's Tarantino, one of them's Kevin Smith and Scorsese, and someone else in there. I can't remember who the other one is, but the guy playing Tarantino, he's like, "See, it's all about reality, man."
You just got to get in there and really talk about it.
And then at the end, they're like saying,
Creepy.
"What would you?" It's
like a
something like,
snake.
"What would you hide in your pocket?" He's like, "We're trying to talk about reality, man, and it's all about what you perceive." And then the guy, the host, is just like, "I hear you, cocaine."
Wow.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
It's just-
Tarantino talks, his chin like
there's
comes
a lot
out
of
somewhere.
there's a lot of stories about Tarantino's cocaine habits in the peak
my
of his.
God, I wouldn't be
filmmaking.
surprised.
Man, that's hectic.
So it's Fiona Apple used to date Paul Thomas Anderson,
Yeah.
and she said that she's a musician, and she said if anyone ever wants to quit cocaine, just go and sit in a room with Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson snorting coke and listen to how big their egos are, and you will never want to touch that shit ever again.
Jeez.
That's what she said. Hey?
That's hectic.
I'll say this. I know through people I've known that Baz Luhrmann is a fucking huge cokehead.
I think
Huge.
because they'd have such easy access to it. It's,
To the point, guys, where he would have...
Look at his fucking movies. It makes sense.
I don't like
Yeah.
his movies, eh?
He has a special room in every location that he goes. Like a special room, and he just has a fucking bag. Like a bag of it.
Isn't Jim Cameron like that as well?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how
they were all making
Wellington
yeah.
found him, isn't it?
How do they last that,
Bro,
like, stay awake that long?
Mid
Like-
90s, man. That was just like everyone was on coke.
Yeah. And it's coming back. It's becoming big again.
Every wedding I go to, there's Coke.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's what it does to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Gives you an ego.
Yes.
So stupid.
You
How
lose,
good
you
am
lose-
I?
you lose shame. You lose shame.
Yeah.
You don't have any more shame.
There's nothing.
I'll be right back, Dan. Yeah, okay. Come back. Woo!
Oh my god. Yeah, Dan. Fuck, how good am I as a photographer, man? I'm so
Look what
good.
energy I'm capturing
Yeah,
here.
like
Pretty much. That's what it does.
Oh,
man, these
God.
podcasts are the best.
Yeah, that's what it does.
That's how digging deep.
That's the thing that
Thank you.
got
Thank
into
you,
even
Declan.
digging deep on cocaine in Hollywood.
But we're gonna jump now to sack it or brisket. Dan's cinematography corner. A little context for
Don't look at me.
It's such a weird look, isn't it? How bad is it?
I don't want you to make eye contact.
Oh. It makes my willy go inverted.
Is that a movie? A little context for new
What movies
listeners.
you been watching?
No, a movie called Inverted. A little context for new listeners. Sack it or brisket came from Dan's love of beef briskets. Check out our Enola Holmes episode for that. And the unique term to sack that if he doesn't like something.
Oh my
So is
God.
he...
I'm going to block this by doing anything.
So is he going to sack this flick cinematography or make himself a beef brisket and love every morsel of its visuals? Ooh. Okay, Dan. Give us a cinematography.
That wasn't too bad, that one.
Oh, thank you.
It's been way more uncomfortable.
Yeah, it wasn't as wet as the other ones. This is a brisket.
A brisket?
Yep. For multiple reasons, in the first take that we didn't record. Did I talk about? I don't think I did talk about. No. Anyway, so
What? So we didn't do it in the first take?
I don't think we did. Yeah, we did. No, we did. So standout scenes for me. I guess the majority will probably be the end scenes, like the blue wall where they're fighting. The silhouettes just look really nice.
Snow.
Yeah, and the snow, and you got the wide shots, just let the whole scene breathe. This is really, really good. You got the water, everything just working, like all pistons are firing. Even the first fight scene at what's the name again? I forgot.
Of
Copperhead.
Bride?
Copperhead's
Oh,
house.
yeah.
That was just done really, really well.
Vivica A. Fox?
Yeah,
Is her name?
that's one.
Yeah.
I always didn't know how to say it. Vivica.
Vivica?
Yeah.
I think it's Vivica.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Semantics.
even the opening scene, just the way that was shot was really, really nice. A bit too crushed for me, but it's just real stylistic, and the choice was really, really good.
How green was the hospital?
Yeah, but
They made it
just
so
makes
neon and
it looks
gross.
eerie.
Yeah.
And
I feel like the hospital. Sorry to jump in, but that was I know Tarantino loves an Australian horror film from the 80s called Patrick. It's about a dude in a coma that keeps spitting,
Oh.
and he's like possessed or something.
No, but that
I think
makes
he's
sense.
spitting, but yeah, he loves that movie, and I feel like that's a homage to that.
Oh, okay.
Why does he like
Interesting.
movies with weird fetishes?
I'm gonna look that up.
Spitting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we should
double
watch
check
that.
that.
I like watching
Keep
those
going.
movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the lighting in this is great. Like, comparing to the previous cinematographer, this is a massive leap forward, and I think it's a push to like I think modern cinema, the way that they're shooting
it's
things
shot.
now. And yeah, Robert Richardson. Like, I was just thinking before when you mentioned his name and his list of films that he's shot.
Crazy, man.
Imagine being
He's grown as like a cinematographer. Like you can see growth between things like JFK and this.
Yeah, and he even in Inglourious Bastards you can see, and Hateful Eight, there's some cool shots in there, internal shots.
Glorious Bastards is gorgeous.
Yeah, the opening scene, God. Yeah, it's just really, really beautiful. But imagine being at that level where you're working with Scorsese and Tarantino. It's like hey, I think they call him Bob. I think they call him Bob, isn't it?
Robert. Oh,
Yeah,
that makes
Rob.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just say, I'm not going to work with another cinematographer. Let's just get our schedules lined up together.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's good work with it. Like it's good money in the sense of like you're always contracted to work then.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you can, when you're in the position that Tarantino is in his career now, you can afford to just wait for your cinematographer to become available.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some other
that as
filmmakers
well.
that probably are like, fuck no, I've got to make this movie.
Yeah.
I've gotta-
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Patrick.
Borrowed from Patrick in a scene in Kill Bill where the bride is in a coma and spits on the orderly, mimicking Patrick.
Wow.
So this is actually a pretty cool premise. It's a 1978 Australian film.
Yeah.
Patrick, the character, he is in a coma after murdering his parents.
Wow.
Unbeknownst to the hospital staff, Patrick has psychokinetic powers and has the ability to travel out of his body.
Astral projection.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Huh. That might be one to look into.
Yeah.
Something different.
It's part of the Ozploitation.
We had some really good Ozploitation. Razorback was
Yeah.
supposed to be a really good
What's that?
film as well. It's about
It was this
Ozploitation.
era in Australian cinema where
about
we
a
were just
ball.
like
Giant ball.
Australian was like at the head of the horror genre. Like they
Yeah.
were pumping out all these horror movies that were really
It
good.
was for a few years, 2 or 3 years, if I remember
2010s
correctly.
is still counted in it.
Who?
The 2010s.
Oh.
We've always had some good exploitation stuff. Well, look at Mad Max. Mad
Yeah.
Max was huge. That's exploitation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's full blown.
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's Howling? The Howling came from us.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Oh,
Not good.
Man.
But
Yeah.
but the best one, the third movie is supposedly the best one, and that's Australian. The Marsupials, Howling 3 Marsupials, or something
Wow.
like that.
That's at the age of the Ghoulies.
Yeah,
And,
the Ghoulies and the Gate.
Yeah,
The Gate was
the
a little
Gate,
bit later,
yeah.
but
You would
80s.
there's a little section
I
at
love
the
that-
video
those type
at
of
the,
stuff.
the video store
How
of all
fucking
these
good was it?
classics.
Yeah.
Fright Night and all those.
That was some of my favorites, man. Still the type of shit I love to watch.
I was never allowed to look at him as I walked past, and I was just like, yeah.
Then you watched Troll 2 and you're like, never again. But let's move on to the factoids.
Yep.
Sorry, I'll give you a moment.
No, you're right. I'm on.
Um,
That's why I got the laptop now. Easy access to everything.
We've got the...
Next I'll bring mine.
my lord.
No, I got rid of it. Got an iMac instead.
I've heard there's someone that...
My laptop blew up. The battery just swelled up. It's
On what?
Too hot.
On the Mac?
Yeah, the MacBook. Because I'm using it for editing, and just the heat just smashed it.
M1, man.
Yeah, it's not good with Lightroom yet. So I'm waiting.
Jesus Christ.
Bloody Adobe.
Well, let's get that brand new Hattori Hanzo sword made and slice up some factoids for us.
Did I
please.
buy you some
That's
time
better.
to think
Thank
of
you.
that?
A little better?
That's one of your better
Yeah,
ones.
I was thinking about it. I gave you some time. Thank you. There's a lot of samurai swords in Tarantino films. I know.
What about they just have in this movie? They just have him out on the plane.
Yeah, they're just chilling with them.
Yeah.
Oh, and also that's something. The plane is like a thing. You can see the strings on it.
Yeah. That
Toy.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it reminded me of Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And the fake city.
yeah.
There's also this takes place in the real world.
Oh, does
So
it?
this is like a movie, like characters in the Tarantino films would go to watch this at the cinema kind of thing.
Oh,
right. Okay.
It's one of those ones.
Okay.
So this is a part of the cinema.
So that's why it
world.
has like no big
Yeah.
connections like some of his other movies do.
Right. So if you're listening now, you'd know was it the first Reservoir Dogs movie Declan mentioned that there's, what would you call it?
That's the real
There's
world.
There's the
isn't
real
it?
world of the Tarantino verse, and there's the realer than real world where
Yeah.
It's
they go. Kill Bill would exist as a movie in the real world. Of
yeah.
Tarantino.
Layer one, Tarantino's real world. Layer two, the entertainment world.
Yeah.
In the Tarantino world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which one? Wait, Reservoir Dogs was not.
Reservoir Dogs is in the real world.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction is in the
Real
real world.
world.
Jackie Brown is realer than real.
Yeah. And
And
then
this is real
and
than
real. And then also
Well, even Glorious is real world.
no.
Oh, really?
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it
But in
is.
the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's their alternate history.
Yes.
Which then plays into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
You
Later.
know
Yes.
that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was the first cut was 20 hours.
20 hours.
What, 20 hours long?
20 hours.
No, bullshit. I'm going to look
We'll wait
that
till we
up.
get up to the
Yeah.
facts. All right.
Yeah, look it up.
All right. So Quentin Tarantino
He
originally.
didn't even shoot that much. How do you shoot that much footage?
That's what I read. Anyway, we can do it for
Sorry.
next one.
Quentin Tarantino originally intended to cast a Japanese actress to play O-ren Ishii, but before casting began, saw Lucy Liu's work in Shanghai Noon and immediately changed O-ren into Chinese, Japanese, American so she could play the part.
Oh,
He was very taken with her.
Wow.
When they were shooting the scene where Go-Go and Uma Thurman are fighting, I think Chiaki Kuriyama, I think that's how you say the name, accidentally hit Tarantino in the head with her ball and chain
I heard
Oh my
that, yeah.
God.
as he was next to the camera. Yeah.
Hectic.
This one's pretty cool. When O-ren says in Japanese, "I hope you saved your energy. If you haven't, you may not last 5 minutes" in the fight scene, it's exactly 4 minutes and 59 seconds from the time she steps forward and the music cues until the fatal blow.
Wow, that's cool.
So she does last longer than 5 minutes. Here you go. The idea for doing Kill Bill began during the filming of Pulp Fiction. The two Uma and Quentin began talking about the kinds of movies they would like to do. Quentin said he would like to do a 70s style kung fu flick. Uma came up with the film's opening shot of her beaten up and wearing a wedding gown.
Oh,
So she came up with it.
Yeah. The bride's yellow outfit, this is a pretty obvious one, but was inspired by Bruce Lee in his final film, Game of Death.
Saw that, yeah.
Which is because everyone thinks that he shit on Bruce Lee in that scene in Once Upon a Hollywood, but he's paying like pretty big homage to him here.
Yeah, well, he's playing it in a way that's comical. You know what I mean?
I also just think he was like, I mean, I know that this caused him a lot of controversy as well, but the fandom for Bruce Lee is very interesting to me because he was an entertainer. Everyone acts like he was like an actual master of kung fu and could do all this stuff. He never did any of that. He did it in movies.
I was a Bruce Lee fan.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not, but everyone's acting like he could have done.
He was very good.
He started Wing Chun. That's his form.
Yeah.
That's like a whole new.
But what did he actually do with it besides make movies?
He trained heaps of people. Like he taught heaps of Hollywood people.
Hollywood people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
but he's still well. Like,
but everyone acts like if he was in today in the UFC, he'd kill everyone in the UFC.
Oh
and stuff
no, a boxer.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
like he was an amazing entertainer. He was an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing that people forget. That form of martial arts isn't always a form of complete self-defense. Sometimes it's a form of flow, a form of just athleticism, and
I agree with all that. But
he was very good at that.
Dude, go type Bruce Lee online and read the stuff that people say about.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's the ultra fans. That just
but
come
if there was strict rules, okay, example, if you got McGregor versus Roy Jones, was it Roy Jones? No, Mayweather. If there's rules in there for boxing, like Mayweather flogged him, right?
Yeah.
But if it was a street fight, fucking Mayweather, he'll be dead, man. Because that's when you get the ground fight.
But I question if Bruce Lee's not fight. He doesn't fight.
You'd have to be in a special martial arts based tournament.
Yeah.
For him to be doing,
he's obviously
nailed you.
He's obviously incredible at what he did. That's what I'm trying. But I think that's what I think the point that Tarantino was trying to get across in Once Upon a Time was that he was like
he wasn't. Yeah.
He was an entertainer.
He was
a showman.
Main goal was showman.
He was charismatic and he was a showman.
Yeah, it's
like, you know that footage of him hitting the ping pong ball with nunchucks?
Yeah.
That's not real. Everyone's like jumped on that. It's like,
I don't know.
But he's cool. I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying there's I just think that Tarantino getting shit on for that Bruce Lee scene is.
Well, even their his family came out and started.
Because if you get a boxer, he would punish you because Bruce Lee's a stick.
Yeah,
he's so small.
He has a lot of power.
I didn't see it as a shit on him. I saw it as him like everyone was in awe of him in that scene when he's talking.
Yeah, he's having fun.
He was
with
charismatic.
It.
Yeah, but you got to remember back in the 60s or 70s, because when he came to America, there's a whole thing on this. But when he came to America, he wasn't supposed to teach, and he got in a lot of shit for it.
Yeah,
and he goes, "No, I'm going to teach it because people need to learn." And so and everyone just thought he was a god. That's probably why.
Yeah,
he made all these movies.
Well, he had a cult-like following.
Crazy, technique. And then Chuck Norris came in, and even Chuck Norris said stupid things. He goes, "Oh, I taught Bruce Lee how to do a high kick," and I was like, "What?" But anyway, there was that few
by Bruce Lee.
Yeah. So just anyway.
No, it's just interesting.
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone just knocked him out. But,
yeah, exactly.
I'll do a couple more. You were right, Reece. The Pussy Wagon. Tarantino did own that car. He used it he drove it around every day to promote the release of Kill Bill Volume 2.
That's fucking amazing. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The balls on it.
It's creepy him in that car, man. But it's so bad.
Declan was just saying the amount of coke you'd have to do to think that you're good enough for shit like this. Imagine driving around the Pussy Wagon.
Yeah.
You'd have to be blasted every day.
And that wouldn't be allowed on the road anyway.
So he also licensed it for the use in a Missy Elliott music video.
I remember that.
And in a Lady Gaga music and Beyonce.
Wow.
Telephone.
It still gets its use in a whole bunch of different places.
Yeah. Wow. And I this is like a personal fact that I quite like because I know that this chick's been a stunt double in a lot of Tarantino's movies. And she's in Death Proof.
She's great.
But the shot where the bride splits
good.
a baseball in two with a samurai sword was done for real on
Wow.
set by Zoe Bell.
Man, I'd imagine seeing
What
that in real
the
life.
fuck?
How
Yeah.
sharp, man. So sharp.
She splits it so evenly too.
Yeah.
She's good, man.
She's so good.
She's a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Isn't she? Yeah.
It's insane.
She's in. I'm kind of sad that we're not doing Death Proof because I think that Death Proof is so much fun.
She does all those
It's
stunts for
stupid,
real in the movie.
but it's
yeah.
so much fun. And she has that moment when she like straps herself to the front of the car. She's like, I want to do it, and she's like, No, we're not doing
Yeah.
it. She's like, Come on, let me do it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. Anyway,
Badass.
yeah, badass. And that's all the factoids.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that so we're not
All right.
going on and on.
Thank you, Declan. All right, well then we're up to our final thoughts. Dan, man, this is your turn first.
Yes. Final thoughts in this movie. It gets a win for me for cinematography, for creativity. Overall, it's just a good movie. Yeah, it's one of his. Oh, they're all good. They're all good. I think it's just the Jackie Brown one that was a bit of a letdown because I thought that was good when I watched it first time. But yeah, this is a big step up.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not as it's not boring. I thought Jackie Brown was a bit boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, still good in its own right. Yeah, this is great. Like, you got action, you've got revenge, you've got anime, you've got hectic shots, you've got everything in this. So
Got about 10 different action scenes at the end in that fight.
Yeah.
Like 10 different ones.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
An 8.
Yep.
Sitting at the same as Reservoir Dogs for yourself. So for your list so far, Reservoir Dogs 8, Pulp Fiction 7.5, Jackie Brown 6.5, and Kill Bill Volume 1 at
Yeah.
8.
And now I think from here, it's going to be pretty damn steady.
Yeah, it's pretty along the same line.
Yeah.
Declan.
Yeah. This movie's just fun, really.
Yeah, there's not much.
all
I know,
it is.
you're
Yeah.
right.
What Dan said.
Yeah, it's just fun. Like it's like the coming under 2 hours helps a lot, I think.
It does.
And I know that like a lot of directors want to make longer movies, and sometimes studio meddling, trying to get them to cut things down does affect the product. But this is him
Justice
cutting.
League.
Yeah, well, this is him
That's
cutting
what-
his own thing, though. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so it's very, very just enjoyable. I think from memory, I've always liked Vol 2 more, so it'll be interesting to see how I feel about that when we go through that one. But
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I was nitpicking when I said it dragged through the hospital scenes. That's only because I knew where it was going.
Yeah, you've
where
seen
was
it.
building to.
You can almost, there's points in this movie you could almost quote.
Yeah,
You know, you like, and it's just because it's just memorable.
Yeah.
Every scene is memorable.
Yeah.
There's only one or two moments that I can't really remember, like the bathroom scene with the seeing through the wall. I couldn't really remember.
but it's also bizarre how long it's taken for mainstream Hollywood to catch up to like shooting fight sequences like this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's only recently
And
in the last
even-
10 years that they've made fight sequences as easy to follow as this one with all the chaos that's happening.
Yeah.
But even in this one, there's moments where they're still doing things that are older.
Yeah,
Like there's moments where like we get the o-ren Ishii fight, but then there's little like swishes and swabs where you don't know what's going on for a moment.
Yeah.
And then it shows something very clear.
you're still
But-
able to ground
Yeah.
yourself.
But
yeah.
yes, you're
Yeah.
still able to follow, and
Yeah.
that's the beautiful
Something
thing
like that
about it.
Charlize Theron movie. What's it called again? That was the worst.
Oh
choreography
yeah.
ever.
Oh god,
Yeah.
we'll bring it up every
It
episode.
wasn't-
This is only
yeah.
Venom.
Yeah. It's just to me that was just very poor. You get lost. You get lost in it. It's like this is so hard to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna. Oh, should I do your break? No, we don't do your breakdown. We'll do it in the next one to follow up with it of the list.
No,
that
I'm
you did.
waiting until I get to the end of the
the end one.
filmography. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, this one's sitting at number 5 for you.
Probably go up, I reckon.
Right.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, for me, I love this movie. It's fun. It's I think it's without intention. It's actually deeper than what it says it is. Like it's not even intentional. It has so many like themes of like will, your own power and things like that. And then it has a lot of like really cool like backstories and concepts. I don't know. I find this film is also just a ball. Start to end, you have fun. You have fun. I like the music. It's just an amalgamation, a mishmash amalgamation that I just it's my type of movie.
And it works.
Yeah, it's just my type of movie. I'm going to give it a 9. And I think, depending on what next week's one is, this is kind of my highest.
Well, yeah, this was number 1 on your list.
Yeah, this is
9.
kind of also the highest of where I can see since that's the case, Tarantino going. I'm interested to see Inglourious Basterds because I feel like that's going to give it some competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I watched Inglourious Basterds about 2 or 3 months ago, there is, I think because I've seen it so many times, there is long parts in it.
Oh, yeah. It's a long movie.
Yeah, but it's like parts like, come on, Nick, come on. Let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we can wrap it up then.
Yep.
You've been listening to Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan.
I'm Declan.
And you have a good week.
Respect.